to the stars tonight. She's got the scoop, she's got the glow. Lady Ro knows where the stories flow. Saturday morning, rise and shine. News from the heart to the headlines. Lady Ro's got your ear. It's time, let's dive in deep and climb. World spins fast, but she slows it down. Local buzz to the red carpet gowns. Lady Ro's the queen with the news to crown. Saturday morning, feel the groove. Sip your coffee and catch the mood. Lady Ro's got the scoop for you. Let's make the morning move.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Saturday Evening Scoop. We missed the morning. So welcome to Saturday Evening Scoop. This morning I was working. I've taken on a PRN job. And this weekend, they asked me to come in and work with them. It's flu season. So normally during flu season, I normally pick up extra hours here and there. So this is something new for me, and I'm in for a challenge. It's definitely a challenge, and I'm in for it. So let's get started. Good evening, living for me. I got to change up what I got to say. Hey, Symmetry. Good evening to you guys. I am so glad to have you here. I am sorry again about this morning, but again, I took on a little PRN job, so I'll be working. They'll call me if they need me and I'm available. I'll go in, but it's not anything that I'm obligated to do. This weekend, I am just doing orientation and working, and because it's flu season. So flu season, we got to get a lot of flu shots. Typical things that nurses do. Good evening, Brown Girl, Girl Rocks. We have a lot of stuff on the schedule to see today. I don't know what my phone doing, but it's tripping. So we're going to get on into it. Some of the things that are on the schedule for today, we're going to talk about who has passed away recently. We're going to talk about Eddie and Wendy Osefo. Can y'all believe what they done did? Child, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the Nobel Peace Prize, who didn't win and who did win. We're going to talk about a young lady out of Louisiana who was charged with negligent homicide after a nursing home patient fell out of a lift. We're going to talk about Drake and Kendrick Lamar. We're going to talk about Derrick Grove. We're going to talk about the Tennessee plant explosion. We're going to talk about another week of the government shutdown and what that means to regular everyday citizens. We're going to talk about Qatar coming on over there to the Idaho to open up Air Force Base. We're going to talk about Trump and how he has directed the Pentagon to direct funds to the military so that they can get paid. We're going to talk about air traffic control and the shortage and what that means to everyday Americans and what we need to be looking for. We're going to talk about that man named RFK and how he sat on the Capitol Hill and he shook his throat and his neck and said circumcision is causing autism. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about Salt from Salt and Pepper. She made a statement. I think it's worthy to put the information out here. If you have a platform, you should be sharing truths. And we're going to bring power to truths. And that is all on the agenda for today. We're going to end it up with a little statement that I made regarding some of the crap I done seen on this here YouTube this week. And we also we're going to crown the clown of the week. All right. I want y'all to stay tuned. We're going to crown the clown of the week. We got a clown of the week. And if you got your libation, some water, whatever you got, baby, toast it up in there. I got me a little peach wine. My brother-in-law makes wines, and I've been having this one in the closet, but I decided to bring it out. But he makes homemade wine, y'all, and his wines are always so good. And he sells them, the little to us. He don't sell them to the publications, but to family members and friends. And because he makes big batches of many bottles, and so just the money just to pay for the wine bottles and all that fun stuff. But I've been having these 2 bottles in my closet hidden because I don't want nobody to drink them but me. And I poured me a glass, and y'all, it is so good. It's peach wine. My brother-in-law made it, so this ain't nothing you're gonna find out in the streets. Live for me, don't you? Look, don't you talk about my brother-in-law. Sounds like some country. Come on. It's not. It's actually wine. And if you Google it, there are several people that make wine at home. There's a young lady that I follow on TikTok who makes wine, and I am just amazed at the wine. Let me get in here and say some pleasantries. Hello, Living for Me. Good evening as well. Thanks for joining. Good evening, Symmetry. Thanks for coming in. Good evening, Brown Girl Rocks. Thank you for joining. Girl, the Acephos, right? We're going to discuss this today, honey. I don't know what they thought they was doing, but babe, I am so disappointed. When I tell you, I had to cut the TV off yesterday just because I couldn't even believe it. I was like, no, Wendy and Eddie. I was really rooting for these 2. And now I'm going to have to root for somebody else because I am a big fan of the Potanka Wives, as Funky Diva calls it, the Potomac Wives. But I really believe once we start looking into it, some of the clues may have been there and we just did not pay them any attention. I'm not thinking about Living for Me. Good evening, Bad Girl Riri. Thanks for joining the live this evening. We're going to get in here and we're going to do some talk. You said my uncle does out of muscadines. Baby, he makes muscadine. Let me tell you the wines he made last year and sold it. He made plum wine. He made pineapple wine. He made this peach. He made an apricot. He made baby. When I say the muscadines, people were begging for more. When he ran out, it was done because muscadines are seasonal, so you can only get them at a certain time of the year. And muscadines, if you look it up, they have a lot of health benefits. But he made wine out of baby. When I tell you that muscadine wine was so good, it was so good. It was so good. But baby, this peach wine, that's good too. That's some good stuff right there too. So if I fall asleep, I'm trying not to pull a butterfly on y'all. But I may fall asleep. Y'all know I'm not no drinker. So I love the taste of his wine because I think it always has a really sweet taste. And I like Kool-Aid soda pop. So of course I like the sweet stuff. I like the little sweet, but I ain't gonna Bad Girl Riri. She started laughing because I was talking about butterfly. You know, butterfly them fell asleep on us. Comes out, but we love butterfly. We love us some butterfly. Moving forward. Let's get started with the live. Let me go ahead and talk about my fair use disclaimer. Some material in this video is used under U.S. copyright fair use, Section 107, for purposes such as commentary, criticism, news reporting, and education. So today we will be doing some news reporting, a lot of commentary, a whole lot of criticism, and hopefully we'll be educating each other, because I'm going to tell you this, what I truly believe is you're never too old to learn. And I believe that in life is a series of lessons, and if we can learn from those lessons and grow. But if you keep doing the same bull wanky every day and never growing, baby, you are stagnant. What we call stagnant people, they used to call them the MR word, right? But right now we call them socially unintelligent, right? So if you keep doing the same thing every day and not growing, you are socially unintelligent. And I'm going to leave that right there. We're going to move forward. Please like, share, and subscribe to this page. That is our last thing. And remember, everything that I'm saying here is all views in this live are there. Everything I say is only for entertainment purposes. It's all alleged. And we're just here just to have a good time for a little time. We're not going to be down here all night, but we are going to have some fun. And we're going to talk about some current events, not about people. We're going to talk about some current events. Again, everything in this live is alleged, in my opinion, and it's all for entertainment purposes. Please don't go out your way to dislike nobody. Nobody. Feel how you want to feel about people. Don't dislike nobody on my court. I'm just down here talking, honey. That's all. And I'm going to let my fair use clicker go, and we're going to get into the live. First on my list of things to share today, I am a big Diane Keaton fan, and to hear that she passed away today, it kind of broke my heart. I don't think there's a lot of information known about her death, but I do want to send some honor and respect out to her family. Diane Keaton, this is want to thank or send a shout out to People Magazine for this article. I want to thank Diane Keaton for just giving us some great movies and being who she was politically and behind the scenes. Diane Keaton, famed for roles in Father of the Bride, First Wives Club, and more, dies at 79 years old. The actress' legendary career also included other films like Annie Hall, Something's Gotta Give, and The Godfather. I don't think they gave it a reason for her demise. They just, because I remember one article I read said they didn't have a lot of information. Diane Keaton, she was 79 years old. Let me cut this external keyboard off. Diane Keaton has passed away. She was 79 years old. People can confirm the legendary actress died in California on Saturday, which is today, October 11th. There are no further details available at this time, and her family has asked for privacy in this moment of great sadness, a spokesperson tells People. Keaton rose to fame in the 1970s thanks to her role in the Godfather films and her collaborations with director Woody Allen. As you know, Woody Allen was married to Cher, and we all know about him. Anyway, she won an Oscar for Best Actress for 1977's Annie Hall. Her long career included movies like The First Wives Club, multiple collaborations with director Nancy Meyers, and the Book Club franchise. I love those movies. I love watching the Book Club. The actress was born in Los Angeles in 1946 as Diane Hall and was the oldest of 4 children. Her father was a civil engineer while her mom stayed at home. Still, Keaton, through her mother, dreamed of something big. Secretly in her heart of hearts, she probably wanted to be an entertainer of some kind. The actress told People in 2004, she sang, she played the piano, she was beautiful, she was my advocate. And I believe she was talking about her mother. And this is Diane Keaton in the 70s when she won her Oscar. Rest in power, Diane Keaton. I'm telling you, life is continuously moving forward, regardless of what we think. Life is constantly moving forward. Hey, Michelle, welcome to the live. Thanks for coming in this evening, y'all. Again, normally I do this in the morning, but I was busy this morning. So I thought I don't want to miss my Saturday. So I'm going to come to you whenever I can. If I miss a Saturday, trust me, it's because I have something else going on. Me Too, Symmetry. I love Diane Keaton. I really think Bad Girl Riri, she was one of a kind, great actress. She did her job, played her roles, and was very eloquent. She wasn't just a person that was out here doing God knows what, whenever. Let's talk about Eddie and his wife. Man, when I tell you my heart just aches just thinking about Wendy Osefo and what she and Eddie have been accused of. Real Housewives star. This is thanks. We're going to send a shout out to Variety magazine for this article. Real Housewives star Wendy Osefo indicted for fraud. Bravo pulls her wife swap episode in response. The Real Housewives of Potomac star Wendy Osefo and her husband Eddie Osefo were indicted on October the 9th in Carroll County, Maryland, on multiple charges of fraud. Following the news of their arrest, Bravo pushed the series premiere of Wife Swap, the Real Housewives edition, to October the 21st. It was scheduled for October the 14th. So my understanding is, I'm not sure if it says it was pushed back. The article says it was pulled. Let's finish reading it. It will premiere on October 21st. Wife Swap will feature Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Angie Kataskavis, maybe I don't know what that is, instead of the Osefos. Okay, so they did remove them, whose episode has been delayed. So maybe they'll show them later. A spokesperson for Wendy Osefo emailed a statement to Variety. Dr. Wendy Osefo and her husband, Edward Osefo, are back home safely with their family and in good spirits. They are grateful for the outpouring of concern and support from friends, fans, and colleagues. The Osefos, alongside their legal team, look forward to their day in court. At this time, they respectfully ask for privacy as they focus on their family and the legal process ahead. Girl. Okay, Wendy. Okay, girl. Okay, Wendy. I don't know what else to say. Okay. I don't know. Symmetry Me Too. I am sorely disappointed. But you know what? Her one of her castmates took to the TikToker. Well, I saw it on TikTok. I'm sure it's somewhere else besides the TikTok. And she has something to say. Let's go over here and listen to this thing.
But on the show,
yeah,
I brought her to Lake Norman, and we went to a rooftop, and the cake that I gifted her was her bag. Like, it was her blue Birkin bag done. I had a custom cake. It was like $600 because I felt so bad. I wanted to celebrate the fact that she lost her Birkin bag and it was her birthday. So I was like, well, let me give you a Birkin cake.
So listen.
You mean to tell me that she never lost her Birkin? Like, I need my money back.
Oh.
Law's the law.
Right.
I just don't feel that she would go that low. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we have so many opportunities out here to build businesses and make money and do the things and hire the people. And, I'm not going to say it's always perfect, right? We make mistakes, but that's a lot to say that she actually staged a whole burger. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, that's your safety. Your children are involved. You got people Googling your address now. So it's like, I don't see, as a mother and as an educator and as, everything that she has worked hard to build, I just don't see her staging I'm wrapping my mind around it because, because when it happened, what do we all do? We go to Google, like, ooh, where does Winnie live? Yeah. Like, why did like, does she got gates? What else she got in there? You know what I mean? I just don't see her doing that.
Right. So, as we see, her castmate, Mia, kind of feels kind of like we do. We're kind of disappointed. Like, what happened? I really would like to know more about the story. Brown Girl Rock says, I'll wait for the outcome. Me too. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to wait for the outcome. For the very fact that the first story said, like, they had, was it $300, I believe, fraud at $300. Then the next story came out and said it was like $450,000. So was it 400? 300? Was it 450? I don't know. So I really would like to see what's happening. I'm reserving my opinion on the case, but them mugshot. We need to look at them mugshots. Let me find Wendy and Eddie's mugshots, y'all. Oh, they was a mess. Oh Lord, give me a minute. I'm typing on I done disconnected the external screen so I couldn't see. Oh, here they go. Y'all, look at this. Let me open it up. Look at this. Let's see if we can get it bigger. Oh, look at her. Wendy and Eddie. What was y'all doing? What was y'all doing when they arrested y'all? Somebody tell me. Honey. Look at it. Child. What y'all think? I don't know. They look like they may have been a little, having a little happy Eddie. That's what it looks like to me. I may be wrong. But look like they just got through having a little happy Eddie. We're gonna hold up the bloodstained banner for Eddie and Wendy that they can get out of this and that all of this is just a line of misunderstanding. But I did read some stuff that said that I don't know how much truth it is because we ain't heard too much, but they said that they had them on tape returning stuff that they said was stolen and that the people had them on tape on the show wearing things that they said was stolen. So I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Symmetry says same. 20,000 K return goods, 450,000 in fraud total. That was one crazy payout for jewelry. Definitely is. I don't know. They appear happy. They always appear. They appeared happy. They always, to me, they give off the great couple, a good couple. Baby, they're so high in the mugshots. Say to Jesus, glad they had slippers. Yes, my sister said she wants some happy Eddie now, right, baby? Because when I tell you they share, I don't know. I don't know what they was doing. I think the threshold is 300 for the case type. Michelle, what do you mean the threshold is 300 for the case type? This is a federal case. Yeah, they were federally indicted. This ain't just because this is an insurance fraud. So that's I don't know what the threshold being $300 for when this is a federal insurance fraud case. This is what this ain't your everyday boy case. This is, and I think it was a 16 felonies. We're going to pray for Eddie and Wendy that the Lord will bless them to come out of this unscathed and all this be a lie that Todd set up for come to us with the BS. Okay, that's what we're going to pray and believe. Because that right there was just way too much. Did I do that? Let me hold on, y'all. I don't think I did. Let me cut this external keyboard on because I don't think I added this. We're going to skip and I'm going to come back to that. Let's talk about a certified nursing assistant in Louisiana. Y'all, she was charged with negligent homicide after the nursing home patient she was caring for fell out of a Hoyer lift. So I don't know if you guys know what a Hoyer lift is. Let me pull it once so you can see what it is. And she was using a hydraulic Hoyer lift. So let me see if I can pull up one. Yeah, this is one. Let me get a better image so you can see what it looks like. This electric one. Here's a hydraulic one. So this is a Hoyer lift. Move the scooter out the way. So this is actually what she was using. You take this, there's two hooks, one on each side, and you put a person in a sling, and you cross it over between their legs, and you hook the sling up, and they're supposed to hold onto the bars. And then you pump it, that handle on the side, you open up the legs, close the legs, but behind there is a pump. You can see the spring, and you pump it up to lift them up, to either put them in a chair or put them in the bed. I'm not sure which she was doing, but the patient fell, and the autopsy proved the patient fell and met their demise, and the autopsy proved that the patient's injuries were that of blunt force trauma. So they have charged her with negligent homicide. I want to go and read the case with you guys because I want us to, I'm a nurse, so I get into a lot of what goes on when it comes down to nursing. I try to keep my ear to the pavement because my license is important. Taking the NCLEX is not an easy thing to do. So being that, I want to make sure, that I'm handling my business and that I'm keeping myself abreast of what's going on out here in the public and in the world when it comes to nursing and education. Yes, it's to lift heavier patients, right? And believe it or not, now Brown Girls Rock in nursing homes, they pretty much use it across the board because of back injuries and the fact that people were always missing work because they were having workman's comp claims. So to decrease liability for workman's comp, they brought in Hoyer lifts. But most places have a 2-person Hoyer lift policy. So that means I can't use this Hoyer lift by myself. I need to bring in another nurse's aide with me, and then we need to lift the patient and put them to bed. Apparently she did this on her own, which is the reason why she was charged. Do nurses have to care? We do not. But I'm going to tell you what I was instructed on. Normally, when there is a malpractice lawsuit or a negligent lawsuit, they go after whoever has insurance because people want money. As you see with that case that's going on in Missouri, right? People want money. They went after OWN because OWN carries the cards, and they have the money. So if you carry malpractice insurance, they're going to go after whoever carries the insurance. Malpractice insurance is not really, it used to not be, I haven't checked into it in years, but it used to not be really expensive. But I'm sure it has gone up over time because everybody wants to sue someone. It used to be back in the 80s, 90s, you did not hear of lawsuits in the extent that you hear them at now, but everybody wants to sue. So I was encouraged after taking NCLEX not to get it because of those reasons, that if nurses carry, you tend to be the one that they sue, and it may not be your fault. You may just be in the room, or you may be the charge nurse, whatever. So with that being said, let's go over and look at the article where this happened, because I really feel like this young lady was given a bad deal, and I'll explain that once we look into it more. All right. Former Baton Rouge nursing assistant indicted for patient's demise. Let's listen to this video.
If you're a YouTuber and you want to save hours managing your library, you need TubeBuddy. Come check out how you can edit your end screens, cards, and
A grand jury has indicted a nursing assistant on a negligent homicide charge after a nursing home patient died last year.
Georgia Peck spoke with the person who currently runs the facility, has more on the indictment. Georgia.
Yeah, according to the Attorney General, Diamond Johnson, a former nursing assistant at Jefferson Manor Nursing and Rehabilitation Center, used a hydraulic lift to move a patient from a chair to her bed. The patient slipped out the side of the sling and landed on the feet of the lift, killing her. Back in June of last year, the Attorney General says Johnson operated the lift by herself. After the patient fell off the lift, she became unresponsive for 40 minutes, and efforts to resuscitate her were unsuccessful. The autopsy found her cause of death was a result of blunt force injuries from the fall. We reached out to Matthew Walton, the current administrator of Jefferson Manor. He says the safety and well-being of their residents is the top priority, and says they have cooperated with the Department of Health and the Attorney General's office throughout the investigation. And in a statement today, Attorney General Liz Murrill said, "These cases are very difficult, but my job as Attorney General is to protect the citizens of this state, especially those who can't protect themselves." As to the facts of this case, the grand jury felt, as we did, that Ms. Johnson was negligent in the care she provided to the victim, who unfortunately lost her life as a result of that negligence. And according to Medicare.gov, Jefferson Manor has been cited for potential issues related to abuse with an overall rating of 1 star. It also shows 5% of long-stay residents have experienced 1 or more falls with major injuries. The national average is just over 3%, and the Louisiana average is 3.5. And as for Johnson, she was booked into the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison, and the investigation is ongoing. Guys.
Thank you, Georgia.
There's the story that what happened to her. I will say this, and I'm saying this because I haven't dealt with long-term care in a long time, like almost 20 years. But in doing so, they're always short-staffed. You may have one CNA assigned to 25, 30 residents to take care of them. So everything has to be done within their shift, changing these 30 patients, these residents, make sure they're all eat, make sure they're all bathed, making sure they all get what they need. They're dressed, they're groomed, their hair's done before the families come. And I think a lot of times our CNAs are taken advantage of. They do some of the dirtiest work. Not some, they do all of the dirty work, period. I'm gonna put that out there. They do all the dirty work. They change, they clean the stuff that we don't want to change and clean. They empty things that we don't want to empty. They wash down people that probably wouldn't get a bath otherwise, right? And they listen. They're the first line of defense. Like I say, in my department, I'm normally, hey, Dana Scott, nurses are normally in the area that I work in, the first line of defense. But when you get to nursing homes, those CNAs are the first line of defense, and they are the ones that get all of the boom, 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 boom. They get beat up on, and they get mistreated, and they sometimes feel like they're not seen or that they're not heard. They're not allowed to sit at the nurses station, which I've always thought was weird. Why am I sitting here in my assistant is the way that she needs to be up here with me, because while I'm documenting, I need to ask her some questions. Did the patient have this? Did the patient do this? What was the skin looking like? Was his integrity good? Blah, 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 blah. She's the person who has that information. But if they're all the way down the hallway, because you want to allow them to sit at the desk, which is absurd. We treat in America our CNAs like they are second-class citizens. And these women are our eyes and our ears of nursing homes, of hospitals. They just are. And we don't treat them right. We really don't treat them right. Symmetry said, I had a CNA job when I was 14. It's a hard job, by the way. Back in the 80s, Symmetry, I did too. I started out while in nursing school as a CNA. And I remember calling in after I got the information I had passed the NCLEX. I was like, I ain't coming back tonight. And my supervisor was like, what, you ain't coming in? No. I'm no longer a CNA. I ain't coming back. Baby, I don't know who's going to do it. What? Baby, I am on vacation until I get me another job. Exactly what I said. You said very true, Lady Ro. CNAs are taking advantage of. I've always helped the CNAs on my shift. We were in it together. And that's how I was. I remember when I worked long-term care and I worked nights, to stay awake, I would tell the CNAs, come on, let's sit back around. And I'd be out there with them. They'd be like, girl, sit down. I'm like, no, come on. We can bust this out together, because I'm another person. While you over there checking that patient, I'm over here checking this patient. Yada, yada. Even the same way when I work day shift. I help feed. I help deliver trays. I help change. If I had a patient that I need to do a wound care on, I'm not going to wait for you to get over here and you giving someone a shower. I'm going to go ahead and change them, because the one thing I learned in nursing school was how to clean up people, right? So I really feel like that people who make the laws, make the rules, have never worked as a CNA. Y'all, that wine giving me the burpees. And they don't really understand the magnitude and the weight of the job. It is a strenuous job. It is a job that is very, very hard. And you give them, they make the least in the group, and you give them the most to do. I do not understand that. I'm going to be praying for this young lady. I think her name was Diamond. And I ask that you guys pray for her as well, because I can imagine what it's like just to want to work every day. And not only that, if you listen, sound like the nursing home had issues, period, that may have not even involved her, but she may have just been caught in the loop. So we're just going to ask the Lord if he would just wrap his arms around her, protect Diamond, Lord, where she is right now, encourage her, keep her head lifted, that she may be able to run this race. And Lord, do whatever you got to do. Go before her, Lord. Bring the right attorney into her life, Lord. Let her have the best judge, Lord, that will read the paperwork and understand that her job is not easy, and that things happen that are just not our fault. It's just not anyone's fault, Lord. And that is my prayer for Diamond, because I truly believe that this young lady probably did not mean to hurt this lady. And who expects a Hoyer lift to break? It broke. Who expects that? To me, she's an innocent person. Of course, there were falls, but this wasn't a fall. This was a malfunctioning machine. How old was the Hoyer lift? Had it been serviced? Had it been oiled? There needs to be more details. And if Lord, put the attorney in her place, in her path, even if she has to get a state attorney, put them in her path that will ask the right questions and help this young lady, because I really, truly believe she's not at fault. I'm telling you, they're going to have to prove otherwise, that she intentionally did this, because I do not believe that she intentionally hurt this lady. I do not believe that. I do not believe that. I do home health care. Those elderly people are terrified to go into. And can you blame them, Brown Girls Rock? This place, I think it was called Jefferson Manor, that this young lady was at, had a 1-star rating. One, not 1.5, 2, 1 star. Maybe it was 1.5, but horrible rating, because I think your stars go up to 5. But a 1.5, even at that, that's horrible. Had high incidences of falls. It was just too much. It was just too much. And a lot of times when you're just looking for a job in our economy today, who's looking at the rating of your nurse? I need a job, and I'm going to do the best job I can. But when I come into your job and you have a 1.5 rating, which means Medicare has probably got you on suspension. They ain't give you no rebate. No returns on what you probably just getting a bare minimum when you sit in those MDSs. And you may not even get anything if you're on suspension, because baby, they will put you on suspension and not give you no money. You're just gonna be getting the money that the people coming in paying you. And so when that happens, you have a nursing homes running on a tight budget and they cutting corners and their equipment's malfunctioning and they don't get their equipment fixed. I implore you, if anybody's ever end up going to a nursing home to visit or whatever, take a walk outside by the dumpster and look at all the equipment that they normally pile outside behind closed doors or behind a wall that's faulty, not working, wires frayed. I mean, I had been in, like, again, I've been at my job 18 years. So, baby, it's been that long since I worked in long-term care. And I can tell you right now, I guarantee you the same thing's still going on. They are not. Money that comes into the nursing home, they try to pinch pennies at every corner. Pinch pennies. When I say pinch pennies, they pinch pennies. So I want everybody, if you can, if you will, pray for Diamond. Pray for her mental health. Pray that God puts the right person in place, the right judge, the right attorney to help her get out of this case, because I don't believe she's guilty at all. Do not believe it. I really don't believe that. I really don't believe it. And I pray that she's okay. I think they're using her. I definitely believe that. I definitely believe that because I'm going to tell you that anytime someone passes away in your facility, they want to blame somebody. Someone's to blame. Unless, it's a natural cause or something like that. I'm talking about if there's an incident, someone passes away, who can we blame? Is it you? Is it you? Who is it? Is it you? It's got to be you. They're going to blame someone. And she's a scapegoat. I believe that with all my heart, that Diamond has been made a scapegoat. Let's go over to something a little more light. Let's talk about old boy Drake. Let's talk about Drake. Let's go over here and look at old Drake. This week, the judge, let me get on to because I done typed out a whole letter. So let me read what I typed out. Drake's case against the Universal Music Group, UMG, over Kendrick Lamar's song, Not Like Us, was dismissed. The judge ruled that the lyrics in the diss track were non-actionable. They were a non-actionable opinion and not a statement of verifiable facts. The decision stems from a 2024 rap battle where Drake has sued UMG, claiming that the company profited from a song that made defamatory and harmful accusations against them. We all know what it said, right? We all know what the song said that Kendrick put out. They not like us. They not like us. And we all know what the PD word and the other things he said. He put out he did some strong accusations against old Drake. But guess what? Drake, you lost. You lost. And I'm a Kendrick Lamar fan, so good luck. Let's listen to it.
A New York judge has tossed out Drake's defamation lawsuit against Universal Music Group, stemming from Kendrick Lamar's diss track, Not Like Us. Drake's lawsuit alleged that UMG published and promoted the song, even though it included false pedophilia allegations against him and suggested listeners should resort to vigilante justice. The lawsuit also alleged that the track tarnished his reputation and decreased the value of his brand. The judge determined that the allegedly defamatory lyrics are, quote, non-actionable opinion, and that a reasonable listener could not have concluded that Not Like Us was conveying objective facts about Drake. The ruling marks an abrupt end to a legal battle that stunned the music industry. There was no immediate response to representatives for Drake seeking comment.
Girl, Drake, you knew you wasn't going to
The bundle with Spectrum One saves
win that. You knew you wasn't going to win that. Well, guess what, Drake? Good luck. I am so glad that is over. I am so glad that, and I'm sure Kendrick Lamar is glad it's over as well, although he was suing the music label. And I believe Drake is signed under UMG. I'm sorry. I believe that is his label as well. Child, get away from us with this mess. Let's see what else. Let's see. The guy from New Orleans, Derek Groves, he was captured in Atlanta on, was it Thursday? It was on the 9th, so today's the 11th. So I guess it was Thursday. He was captured in Atlanta. Seems like he had been been gone and hiding for about 6 months, I believe, when he escaped from the Louisiana prison. So let's go and let's listen to this. This is, I don't want to do that one first. Let me go back and let's talk about, he went to court on yesterday and he waived extradition back to Louisiana. So he's going back home to be tried. And we're going to look at that one first.
Welcome back now at 10:17. Escaped Orleans Parish Jail inmate Derek Groves just appeared before a judge seconds ago. Gabby Killett is live outside of Atlanta with the latest.
Well, Josh, Derek Groves officially waives his extradition proceeding and will be on his way back to Louisiana. He was sitting there in court, went up for the hearing and said, and I quote, "I want to return where I'm from." So that is what will happen from here. The state of Louisiana has 15 days to get him and bring him back, but he can be held for up to 30 days. Also announced new in court that his charges in Louisiana are aggravated escape. Before we thought he was initially charged with simple escape. Rather, Attorney General Liz Murrill was talking yesterday about the possibility that they would be upgraded. It seems like based on this hearing that they are, and he will be brought back to Louisiana to face charges of aggravated escape. And that, of course, is in addition to a life sentence that he has been handed for 2 second-degree murder convictions, as well as 2 attempted second-degree murder convictions. That is also on top of a sentencing he is awaiting for 2 counts of manslaughter. So we hadn't seen Derek Groves in a while since he was caught on video in the Central Business District the early morning of the escape hours, May 16th, and he was there in court, plain as day. Reporting live in Atlanta, Gabby Killett, Fox 8, Local First.
So he will be going back to Louisiana. Not sure, I'm sure they've already probably sent somebody to pick him up, take a plane on back to Baton Rouge. But the place where he was at, the actual landlord shows he actually takes Channel 8 Atlanta, which is where I got both of these from, on a walk throughout the place where he was staying at.
All this, they left a note saying that they got the evidence. So all this stuff here, you got to bust it up house. I got to bust it up house.
This is where Derek Groves, an Orleans Parish jail escapee who was on the run for nearly 5 months, was found. It looks like a chair was set up for him to climb inside of a crawl space. Tear gas is burning our noses. Drug paraphernalia all around. The space is trashed. This is where Derek Groves was found, in the basement of this house on Honeysuckle Lane in Southwest Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, Lord. Pitiful, pitiful, pitiful. But he's back in custody, and that's probably best for everybody involved. Seeing the very fact that this gentleman was in for murder. We're going to talk about that Nobel Peace Prize and y'all president that didn't get it. Let's talk about it. We're going to look at the AI versions a little bit easier, and I just pulled it up. So we're going to quickly go through it. I done lost all my people. Where y'all go? So the Nobel Peace Prize was awarded on yesterday, and it was announced rather. The 2025 Nobel Peace Prize, an international peace prize established according to the will of Alfred Nobel, was announced on 10 October 2025 by the Norwegian Nobel Committee in Oslo, Norway. It was awarded to Maria Corina Machado of Venezuela. The prize will be presented at a ceremony on December 10th, 2025 in Oslo. Your president really, really wanted this. He really wanted this because, you know why? President Obama has one. So he has to have one, but he didn't get it. Amen, amen, amen. Let's see where we want to go. I don't want to bore anybody, you know. I don't want to stay on too long, but I'm going to sit there and have a good time. I woke up, had a hot flash, and hit the like button. Thank you. Thank you so much, Miss AKA. Kisses, kisses. Let's talk about the Tennessee plant. There was a plant in Tennessee that actually blew up. I'm sorry, it didn't catch fire. It actually blew up on yesterday. And let's go over here to the TikTok and see what the sheriff of that city in Tennessee had to say. Let's go.
That we've had more than probably 300 people. That's done very delicate, very methodical things inside the scene. And at this time, we have recovered those survivors. Again, it's a great loss. I can tell you that we've had more than probably 300 people. That's done very delicate, very methodical things inside the scene.
He said that there were no survivors. I believe the number is 16 lost. And we're going to hope that people who are going through the rubbish, the sheriff, the families, all up in prayer, because I'm sure that's not easy. This is a smaller version of 911, and trying to locate people who could be possibly alive. It looks like they're giving up on doing that. Well, as you know, our president got a plane a while. Well, Qatar said they gifted him a plane, but as we see now that the plane was not really a gift. Wasn't really a gift. Things to know about the Qatar training facility planned for an Ohio Air Force base. So what this will be a training facility that they're going to build, and it's going to be located on one of our United States Air Force bases. Now, I don't know where the common sense comes in this, but I don't see any common sense. Boise, Idaho, when U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth announced Friday morning that the federal government had reached an agreement with Qatar to build a facility at an Air Force base in Idaho. Social media posts began popping up online from people across the political spectrum expressing outrage at the concept of a foreign military base on American soil. We've never had it before. Why do you think they're expressing outrage? Because why in the world are you allowing it? It makes zero. It just makes no sense. But okay, moving right along. But the facility being built at the Mountain Home Air Force Base in Idaho isn't a separate base at all. It's a group of buildings that would be built to handle training and maintenance for Qatar troops. Why we need to train Qatari troops? Okay, whatever. And the agreement with Qatar has been in the works for years. Oh, okay. So we should just shut up about it. And did anybody else on here know that it's been in the works for years? Seemed like it just popped up out of nowhere. What we expect is it to be a squadron operations and hangars for the F-15 QA, because that's the Qatari version of the jet that they bought through the foreign military sales. Air Force spokesperson and Stefanik said it is definitely still a U.S. Air Force base. Are you sure? In fact, on-site training agreements with allies are common in the U.S. The Republic of Singapore 428th Fighter Squadron Buccaneers have been hosted at the base since 2008. German forces trained at the Holloman Air Force Base in New Mexico for decades. New facilities to train international F-35 fighter pilots were completed at Ebbington Air Force Base in Arkansas last year. Somebody's outside with their radio on. Here are some things you need to know about the International Training Agreement and the Mountain Home Air Force Base. This is found on the Associated Press website. If you know anything about the Associated Press, they give out. You can look on their website. It's free. The Associated Press is a nonprofit news media, so they're non-biased. So you can find stuff on there. They do a lot of fact checking that you won't find in other places. But I just think it's insane. I don't want to do that. Not yet. I'm sorry. That's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to stop that. I just think it's insane that we're doing that. You said so sad. Awful. Yeah. Absolutely insanity. That's where I'm at with it. I wasn't aware that America trained other countries to fight. I guess they said our allies. But I just really feel like this is not a good time to be doing that. But hey, I'm just one person over here doing what I do. Let's talk about the air traffic control shortage. A lot's been going on in our world. And I'm not sure how many of you guys are paying attention to the news and that how many flights have been delayed, grounded, not moving, canceled, combined with other flights because of air traffic controller delays. And so we got some stuff that I saw in the news from the FAA. The director of the FAA said he gonna fire people. Child, I don't think they care at this point. You're not paying us nothing. And the government shutdown is really affecting this. And if you think back years in the last time we had, or time before last, we had a government shutdown. It was the FAA strike and the air traffic controllers strikers that got our government back open. I'm not even sure if they'll open it back up. At this point, I think Trump probably says, let the planes collide, whatever. I don't think they care. But I really believe that this is something we definitely have to be concerned about. FAA staffing issues delay. This is thanks to Rutgers. Staffing issue delays U.S. air traffic for the 5th day straight. So, the first week of your shutdown, you don't see as many people calling off, not coming to work because it really hasn't affected them. But that second week, I'm not getting paid. People start calling off. They start calling in. They're just not coming to work because they don't feel like it's worth it. Air traffic controllers are very well sought after. They can probably get a job sitting at home. FAA head says safety will not be compromised as staffing shortages persist. More than 23,000 flights have been delayed this week. That's a lot of flights. That's just United States flights, just around our hubs, our airports. US DOT says about half of the flights delayed this week have been tied to FAA staffing issues. In California alone, they were saying that, I believe it was the Burbank airport, as they were trying to get people out, they were routing people to another airport that was a ways away to get clearance to either land or to take off. So trust me, this is not looking good for them at all. I think that what they're doing is really, really silly. The Federal Aviation Administration said on Friday that the air traffic control staffing issues delayed travel for a 5th straight day as major U.S. airlines urge air travelers to be patient during an ongoing government shutdown. More than 6,400 flights were delayed on Friday and 470 of them canceled. Come on, why do you do that when I get as soon as I move the mouse? After 22,000 have been delayed since Monday, according to flight trafficking website FlightAware. Air travel is expected to rise in the United States during the 3-day Indigenous Service holiday weekend. We don't even say that man's name over here. The FAA said late on Friday it was experiencing staffing issues in Chicago, New York, Newark, San Diego, Dallas, Washington, and Phoenix, among other airports. A temporary evacuation of the Atlanta Air Traffic Control Tower on Friday because they had a little fire due to the fire alarm and reports of a strong natural gas odor also snarled flights. Airlines were urging passengers to be patient. It is safe to fly. but ATC staffing shortages strain the system and cause flights to be spaced out, slowing down everything, said Airlines for America, the trade group representing American Airlines. It goes through Delta, Southwest, and other major carriers, warning of delays and cancellations. Y'all be careful. Be careful when getting onto a plane, because you need someone to safely say it's time to land. You need someone to safely say you may take off. There's nothing around you. You need that. So be safe. Be safe. Be careful when you book those flights. Be mindful. There's a lot of people who fly for work on a daily and weekly basis. And so those are people that we need to cover in prayer and make sure that they're aware of what's going on. Let's look at this. Transportation there. Oh, wrong one. Hold on. Okay, that's the right one. Air traffic controllers who ducked unpaid work during the government shutdown could be fired, Duffy warns. Ooh. Even though the U.S. has a stark shortage of air traffic controllers, remember we already started with a deficit, and now you don't want to pay them, so now we have an even more deficit. Ones who call in sick instead of working without a paycheck during the federal government shutdown risk being fired, the U.S. Transportation Secretary warned. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said this week that he understands the controllers' frustrations and worries. But during an appearance Thursday on Fox Business, he said that by calling in sick, they are causing major disruptions to air traffic, and it won't be tolerated. They ain't tolerating this mess. How dare you? If we have some of our staff that aren't dedicated like we need, boy, we'll let them go. Duffy said, noting that more than 90% of controllers have been showing up to work during the shutdown. It's a small fraction of people who don't come to work. They can create this massive disruption, and that's what you're seeing rippling through our skies today. Yeah, people they want their money. Give me my money. Which one of y'all want to work and not get paid? I don't know nobody want to go to work and not get paid. I don't want to go to work and not get paid. I don't want to risk my skills and my skill sets and my work ethic and not get no pay. Just crazy. Hey, Ariel. Happy Thursday. Lady Roy chat came through to hit the like. Thank you. All is well. All is well. God is wonderful. He is absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Ariel. And then I saw, well, I may not show this, but in the FAA, I went to the Federal Aviation Administration website, and it gives numbers of how many people and how many flights, which we just saw as well. But this gives real-time numbers. So I admonish you to go to FAA.gov newsroom and just look at some of the things that's going on out here in these streets. Baby, they tripping. America's tripping. The shutdown is still going on, the government shutdown, and what the shutdown means to a lot of Americans is critical. It means a lot to a lot of these workers. A lot of workers have been furloughed. I am a federal worker. My paycheck, my budget is done a year in advance. Thank you, Lord, because they learned that if you don't pay us, we don't come in, and we don't care because we get nurses get a job around the corner. We do care about our job because we love what we do, but we need money as well because money makes the world go round. It's how we feed our families and pay our bills. So our checks are still flowing. I have a young daughter who is an accountant and works for the federal government as well, and she's on furlough, waiting on a paycheck. Bought a new car, got a baby, got bills, got a house, got to be paid for. And she got her check yesterday, which we get paid Mondays normally, our payday. And of course, it's missing everything from the first on. Get paid. She got paid up to September 30th because fiscal years October 1, September 30th is our fiscal year. So when the budget's not redone, you lose everything until they rebudget. Now, they say they'll go back and pay. But luckily, hopefully there was, well, there not hopefully, but luckily there was a law put in place in 2018 that no matter what Trump says, this law says that federal government workers will be paid when they're placed on furlough because it's not any action of their own. So let's remember our government employees, those who get out here that make sure the world keeps going, because those FAA workers are government employees. They make sure that our air traffic is not congested and it's still going every day. So I can only imagine the burden, the stress that is placed on them, not knowing if they're going to get a paycheck, not knowing, what this looks like, because the average American citizen lives from paycheck. I don't care what nobody tell you. The average American lives paycheck to paycheck. That's just the fact of life. They do. And this government shutdown, it means a lot to a lot of the workers that work for the government. It takes its toll, and it is doing just that. Believe it or not, it is doing just that. People are just trying to figure out what to do from day to day. My daughter told me she called her supervisor and like, what did you do? Because they were given this letter, told that they could apply for unemployment, yada, yada, yada. Her supervisor gave her some tidbits, and I believe between the two, they figured out some things. Only thing is, if you are a federal worker, you apply for unemployment. When you get your furlough check, you have to pay back your unemployment, which may be better than not getting any money at all. Navy Fed. I am a Navy Fed user. I have some accounts over there. I have some money over there. My good money is over there. And I looked on their website last night as I was going through to check and make sure my deposit had made it there yesterday. And I saw where they had put federal workers that were affected by the shutdown could apply, and they would pay you. Of course, you would have to pay them back. So you would continue to get your check. There, you had to qualify. I saw some of the qualifications were military personnel. They do ask you what branch you're in and so on and so forth. Right, direct deposit. And so I really admonish those who have Navy Fed to utilize that. My daughter said she called her the people who hold the note to her car. They did do an extension. They said they're waiting for more feedback from the government, and they may extend it even longer, which is a good thing. So check with your employers. I mean, your bankers. Check with your mortgage companies. Check with your car finance. I don't have any car notes, so that's a good thing. Praise you, the Lord. But if your car's financed, check with your finance company. Check with those mortgage companies. As I said, check with your bank. Like I said, Navy Fed. If you're a federal employee, you should be using Navy Fed. And even if you're not a member of the service, sign up with Navy Fed. Get someone to sponsor you. All you need is someone to sponsor you, and you can sign up for Navy Fed. It's just that simple. What you said, direct deposit to direct deposit, yes, symmetry. And you could probably extend 2 months on card. Exactly. But that's why I'm saying call your finance company, because everybody's not following the same pattern. So see what they can offer you. Tell them. Now, back in the day, of course, I've been working for the government for a long time, but back in the day, they gave out letters, and on those letters, it said, that you could send it to your creditors or your debtors, and they extended it automatically because they knew what was happening. But I think this is affecting so many people that people really don't know what to do, and they're worried and they're scared. I see it. I hear it. Although, like I said, the department that I work in, our money is guaranteed because our budget is done a year in advance. Some of the people in our department are at our department, exactly what it is, of the government, were not as fortunate. They did not get that guarantee that we as nurses receive, or that guarantee that we as medical professionals receive. So with that being said, there are people that I work with that have been furloughed. It's sad. It's hard to deal, to see them, because they still have to come to work, right? Now, some furloughs, you go home. There are furloughs that still have to come to work. In where we work, you still have to come to work. We still got to take care of the people. And so that's hard listening to them say, I'm not going to get paid. I don't know if I'm going to get a check this week. My department was furloughed. Yours wasn't. Mine was furloughed. So I hear the anguish, the pain. And you know, it's hard. It is hardening. So I admonish you to do those things. I'm blessed that I have a house, baby. That is a blessing. That is a blessing. That's a blessing. I am blessed to not have all my eggs in one basket. And that's what I appreciate God for. I'm trying to get their symmetry. Me too. Me too. We paid off our cars, and working on paying off. I'm working on paying off my rental properties, because I want to be able to not have any debts. That's another reason why I took on a little part-time job. My goal is to get out of debt and have a nice little nest egg, because I am looking for retirement. My goal is retire. My vision right now is retirement. That's it's just tunnel right there. I don't have no other goals right now but to retire. That is where I'm headed. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to see myself doing the next 5 years. I want to retire early. I want to go home and I want to sit. I want to come in here and put my feet up and do what I want to do. If I want to leave the house, I can leave the house. If I don't, and if I get bored in 2 or 3 months, I can go back and find me a job. But my goal right now is retirement. I put in a lot of years to do that. You will, Ariel. I love that symmetry, encouragement. You will, Ariel. You will. Exactly, bad girl Riri, 100%. So, government workers, if you're listening to this, go out, call your debtors, and see what they can offer you. See what those credit cards can offer you until you can get back on your feet. I remember working for the state government and maneuvering through the show. Exactly. And you know what the sad part is that exactly, Ari, we are helpers one to another. That is exactly what we're here for, to uplift each other. And you know, I always refer back to the Bible. The Bible says that when you are strong, encourage your brother. So if I am strong, it's my goal to encourage you. And when I am weak, my brother and my sister, I hope you are strong enough to encourage me. That's where we come as helpers one to another. But it's sad that the government shuts down, but they use their employees as pawns. Okay, let's dangle this. Go, oh, your people aren't getting paid. Oh, your people aren't getting paid. We'll dangle that in front of the government when you have all this fluff. And I think that what's coming down the lines may be scarier than not getting paid. And I think we just need to brace ourselves for what they may be doing in Washington. I'm being very honest. I think we really need to brace ourselves. I said last week about getting dry goods and things that you need to put up that you may be able to share with others. Remember that. Water, peas, beans, lentils, cornmeal, cream of wheat, oatmeal, things that you don't necessarily need a freezer or electricity for. Buy those canned goods. And I know processed meats aren't that great, but get things that you don't necessarily need a freezer for so that you can help each other. Let's go, before I move over to some really light stuff, let's finish up with our president and all the things that he has done. Trump directs the Pentagon to direct funds to the military. Let's look and see what he talked about, because I hadn't even read it. This is on the Associated Press, which I told you before was a nonprofit news site. Trump directs the Pentagon to use all available funds to ensure troops are paid despite shutdown. Remember, our troops don't make a lot of money. A GS 3, 4, and 5, they're not making no money. They're not making no money. Pay these people. Pay these people. You owe it to them, pay it to them. It's wild. Pay it. Washington, D.C. President Donald Trump said Saturday that he has directed the Defense Department to use all available funds to ensure that the U.S. troops are paid Wednesday, despite the government shutdown. A short-term fix that will not apply to the hundreds of thousands of federal workers who have been furloughed. I want you to hear that. Hundreds of thousands of workers that not only have been furloughed, he's getting ready to lay and fire some, because he's getting rid of some departments. But we'll talk about that. Probably not today, but on another day, because I think that deserves more of a conversation. Trump said in his social media post that he was acting because our brave troops, he was acting. Trump said in a social media post that he was acting because, asking maybe, our brave troops will miss the paychecks they are rightly due on October the 15th. The Republican president's directive removes one of the pressure points that could have forced Congress into action, likely ensuring that the shutdown, now in its 11th day and counting, extends into a third week and possibly beyond. But no similar action seems forthcoming for federal employees also working without pay, while thousands are now being laid off. You see that there. During the lapse in government operations, the White House Budget Office started the layoffs on Friday. Trump blamed Democrats and said he was exercising his authority as commander-in-chief to direct Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth to use all available funds to get our troops paid on October the 15th. The Republican president added, "We have identified funds to do this, and Secretary Hegseth will use them to pay our troops." U.S. service members were in danger of not receiving their next paycheck on Wednesday after the government shut down on October the 1st. The start of the federal budget cycle. The U.S. has about 1.3 million active duty service members, and the prospects of troops going without pay has been a focal point when lawmakers on Capitol Hill have discussed the shutdown's negative impact. The Pawns. Remember, this is the Pawns. Hey, Queen Script. Hey, sweetheart. Thanks for joining. Yeah, the Pawns. And I really feel like that Trump, of course, is using us. Trump did not say where he's getting the money, but a spokesperson for the White House Office of Management and Budget said Pentagon research and development funds will be tapped. What else you gonna tap? All right, I feel like something that's going to get tapped. Anyway, the Pentagon said it identified about $8 billion of unobligated research, development, testing, and evaluation funds from the last fiscal year that will be used to issue the mid-month paychecks. In the event the funding lapse continues past October the 15th, federal workers typically receive back pay after a shutdown ends, as now required by a law that Trump signed during his first term. You heard that. He recently floated the idea of not making up the lost salaries. He can't do that. It was unclear if the president's directive applies to the U.S. Coast Guards, which is a branch of the U.S. Armed Forces, but is overseen by the Department of Homeland Security during peacetime. The nation's third shutdown in 12 years has again raised anxiety levels among service members and their families, as those in uniform are working without pay. While they would receive back pay once the impasse ends, many military families live paycheck to paycheck. I already told you they don't make a lot of money. During previous shutdown, Congress passed legislation to ensure that troops keep earning their salaries, but discussion of taking a similar step by lawmakers appear to have fizzled out. Asked earlier this week if he would support a bill to pay the troops, Trump said that probably will happen. I'm sick of reading this because just the very thought that they take people's income into, I don't know. These people are working for our government. These people are out here. When you join the military, you become U.S. property. You belong to them. But in turn, they're supposed to compensate you. And when you're not compensating them, then you're just using them. Enough of that. Anywho, y'all, Robert Kennedy says that circumcising is causing autism. Y'all, let's get into it. This man, Lord have mercy. Let's go.
That show children who are circumcised early have double the rate of autism. And it's highly likely because they're given Tylenol.
There weren't two papers. There was one paper. And the paper was very clear that it was correlation, not causation, because, of course, I had to read the paper, so you don't have to. But let's do a little bit of logic according to RFK Jr. Circumcision, autism, and Tylenol. We have decreased circumcision in the country, and we've increased autism in the country. We have found out in the thousands of papers done in the last few years that autism has to do with about 100 different genetic loci. Maybe he thinks those loci are found in the foreskin of And maybe because he thinks that's important, that's something that he's worried about. Let's make it very clear. Tylenol does not cause autism. Tylenol, according to the American College of Gynecology and Obstetrics, is the safest over-the-counter drug for women who have fevers, and fevers in the case of pregnancy are deadly. But let's think of the other logic. Tylenol, after this child is born, is causing autism? My goodness, does that mean that when I take Tylenol, I might get autism or be on the spectrum? This is beyond pale. And to think, the one Democrat in a room full of Republicans was making an outrageous statements, and for the first time in God knows when, all these Republicans didn't call BS on a Democrat. Hard to imagine, isn't it? Let's just be clear. This man has no business belonging as the Secretary of Health and Human Services. He doesn't have a background training, no background in science, and he is absolutely a mouthpiece for his anti-vaccine propaganda. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. saying that circumcision and Tylenol causing autism is proof that ignorance is hereditary if you refuse to learn. This is a problem. When you have the Health and Human Services Secretary who does not understand correlation and causation and is trying to make a headline. We need more basic science funding, not less. We need less of people like him that don't understand correlation and causation. And we need more people overall learning science in their classrooms. I'm Dr. Terry Simpson. I like evidence-based medicine. I like science-based medicine. And I can't tolerate this sort of ignorance that comes out of that position. That person should be the individual championing basic science research. Instead, this man is putting forth pseudoscience above real science, histrionics above history, and making a mockery of an office which should be there for the American people.
Right.
It's a shame.
Oh, Lord. Dr. I believe his name was Tim Stevenson. I appreciate him. That was his TikTok. Breaking it down for us exactly what they found that autism leads to. Because if you're going to say, oh, autism has been linked to circumcising, then what's going on with the girls that have autism? It just doesn't make sense. RFK does not belong in the White House. He belongs probably in a loony bin. I said it. All right, y'all. We are up to my new segment, the Clown Crown of the Week. Y'all, we done met us a clown, and she has to be crowned. Look at her. This young lady right here. Let me go ahead and let's get to the story of what actually happened. Let me pull it up so we can see this clown and her child. This girl. When I tell you she done worked all of the nerves, let me look and make sure it's on StreamYard. It is. Let's go.
In these photos, she's smiling, appears kind, but a simple act of courtesy, holding a door for a stranger, somehow led to 41-year-old Cecilia Simpson's murder, police say.
It was two women fighting, and one pulled a gun and shot the other one.
That was what Deanne Schmidt says she walked up on at this PetSmart off I-20 in Wheatland Tuesday. And now police say they know what started it all.
Very sad. Like, we never know what's going to happen. Can't trust anybody.
22-year-old Keona Hampton is now facing a murder charge after investigators say she shot and killed Simpson in the parking lot. Earlier, though, the two were at another business nearby. According to arrest documents, Hampton failed to say thank you after Simpson held the door open for her. A verbal disturbance ensued. Simpson and a friend left, but the documents say they noticed Hampton following them as they pulled into the PetSmart parking lot next door. A short time later, Hampton entered the store and began arguing with Simpson. Police say workers told them to leave, but once outside, things didn't calm down. Detectives wrote Hampton threw a drink bottle at Simpson's vehicle. Simpson, police say, got out and struck Hampton several times. When that friend from earlier tried to break it all up, police say Hampton pulled a handgun and fired 3 shots at Simpson. Simpson later dying at the hospital. Hampton told police she shot Simpson to get her away from her, but the charge still came after detectives say Hampton followed Simpson to another store, threw an object, and fired the last shot.
I am disgusted. I don't know what's going on with this world. We used to be nice to each other and polite.
This the reaction from shoppers Tuesday without knowing all these details. Simpson's family tells us she was a lovely lady, a pharmacy technician. Her life closed shut over a phrase never spoken and a moment no one can take back. In Dallas, I'm Matt Howerton.
Hampton. We have crowned her the clown of the week. Girl, you actually smurdered a lady because she didn't say thank you for, girl. May the force be with you. May all of the forces, all of the whatever they gonna do to you down there at the Lou Garris jail before they take you on down to the TDCJ. May it all be with you. May it all be with you. How dare you? How dare you take an innocent life, girl? Anyway, let's go over here and let's talk. Let's look at something that Salt from Salt and Pepper had to say. Y'all, apparently, someone put out an AI saying that she said that her ex-husband was gay. And she said it was all a lie. So she came out here to clear up the air. And I feel like if anyone who has perpetrated this lie, continued it, should be able to get on here and do exactly what I haven't perpetrated. I ain't never put it out here. I'm just putting out what she said because it's, I think, a responsible thing to do. Let's go over here and to the Instagram and listen to Miss Salt.
Hey y'all, just wanted to share a little something with you guys. There's some stuff on YouTube about my ex, basically saying that I have come out and said that he's bisexual or I caught him with a guy or something like that. Not true. Total lie. Old face lie. There's no truth to it at all. My ex-husband, who I spoke to and let him know that I would be doing this video on his behalf, is a straight man. And it's not fair that people can just say anything about anybody on the internet. And we have to be able to recognize clickbait, you know, and do real research. So nothing of the sort. And I just want to clear his name because that's not fair. And we should just stop believing everything we hear because social media is the wild, wild west. Now with this AI stuff, I'm like, is this real? Is that real? Like, you got to question everything at this point and use our brains.
As you see, she came out here to clear up her ex-husband's name. I appreciate her for bringing power to truth because there's nothing any better than when you find out someone has lied on you, coming out here to clear your name. You don't have to continue with the lies. You just don't have to. Last on my list, y'all know I like Governor Gavin Newsom. So let's go on over here to his TikTok and let's see what he been talking about this week. Yeah, mad respect, bad girl Riri. Mad respect because she saw the AI. The rumors started going around and she was like, let me get out here and let me clear this up because I ain't never said nothing like that. And it's a shame. We have seen the AI channels on YouTube and what the lies and the stories that they put out about different reality TV stars and so on and so forth. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But let's go on over here and look at Gavin Newsom's Twitter. Y'all know I really think Gavin Newsom should probably be the next president of these here United States. This is his official website. Now he has a Governor Gavin Newsom, which he tries to stay a little bit more politically correct. But on this one, he let it all fly out, and I really enjoy watching him. He reposts a lot of stuff, but he posted something earlier today that I just kind of want to go look at. He said, "Great work at the real Donald Trump. U.S. beef prices soar to an all-time high." Baby, when I tell you, he congratulates Donald Trump every single day on something that Donald Trump has done. All right. On this one, he reposted, "Don't forget to take your Tylenol too." The readout from President Trump's visit to Walter Reed today says he got his flu shot and his COVID booster. As we know, our president, or the president of this United States, because remember, I'm solo. I don't have no president for the next 4 years. Anywho, I'm just over here living in the United States as a citizen, waiting on the next president to come into office. But the president of these here United States has been going to Walter Reed quite often. Today, his doctor released a statement, baby. Why we need a statement? You ain't been releasing those statements. Don't forget to take your time now, Donald Trump. All right, that's what Gavin Newsom wants for you. See, Gavin, Trump's America, ICE agents are zip tying the hands of children after removing them from their homes in the middle of the night. Let's get over here and listen to this.
Speaking of chilling, JB, we saw those images of people descending from helicopters in the dead of night, armed, masked men. Give us a sense of what you're dealing with specifically on the ground in Chicago.
The only invasion or mayhem that's occurring is happening because the Trump administration is visiting it upon our city. Middle of the night, Black Hawk helicopters, ICE agents rappelling out of this military helicopter down the side of this building. It has about 130 people in it. They were targeting a few, but the 130 people had their doors broken down, their windows broken. They took innocent people out and zip tied their hands, children, I might add. And a number of these people were U.S. citizens and others were legal residents of the state of Illinois and the United States of America. And yet they were held for hours.
So just a backdoor on that about what happened in Chicago. The ICE agents came in. As we know, some of these are employees of the government, some sworn in while they was driving down the street in their pickup truck. They went in and destroyed some of these people's homes. And in the interim, they told them they would not cover any of the costs to repair these homes. They took Black people, African-American people, put them in handcuffs and arrested them if they found their name in the system for anything, traffic tickets, wasn't paid, anything that they found them in the system for, child support, they took them in. Y'all, where will it end? Where will it end? Let's go on over here and finish looking at what Governor Newsom has talked about this week. The government is shut down. The stock market is crashing while our president plays games with our economy. Stock falls sharply on Trump's renewed threat of China tariffs. This was on October the 10th. This was just yesterday. Okay. Is this you? Oh, baby. When I tell you he plays, when I tell you Governor Newsom don't play around, baby, keep his foot on Abbott's neck. The wheelchair and the neck, because he got a whole one of them down and the other one on the neck. Governor Abbott condemns President Biden's National Guard power grip. Baby, when he posted this, I think this was posted when Biden was president. But now you're all for sending Texas National Guards all the way to Illinois. Baby, the hypocrisy is what gets me, baby. It's a lot of hypocrisy. It ain't just them. It's people out here on the YouTube street committing a lot of hypocrisy. Baby, we're going to talk about that in just a few minutes. Let's see what
and we're dealing with the tyranny of this administration. I want to understand those I disagree with because I want to get better and I want to be smarter and I want to win. These guys won. They kicked our ass. And we're dealing with the tyranny of this administration every goddamn day. And so for me, it's about power, taking back our power. It's not about punditry and bullshit. It's not about having a goddamn candlelight visual. I'm not interested in a white paper on this shit. I'm a practitioner. We got to get out there. We got to win. I care about winning. That's what Prop 50 is about. It's about power. This son of a bitch is going to not only rewrite history, it's over. The history of this country. We won't have a country in a year if this guy's successful. We're at the 250th anniversary of the Founding Fathers. That's next year. There might not be another free and fair election unless we win back this House of Representatives.
I'm telling you, we have got to really, really, really pay attention.
In June of this year, in the second largest city in the United States of America, President of the United States called up 700 active duty Marines. He didn't send them overseas. He sent them to an American city. It was just days after he had federalized some 4,000 National Guard, unprecedented act, done not at the behest of the state's governor, myself, but against my advice, my counsel, certainly against my consent. We said at the time this was a preview of things to come. A few months later, we saw what happened in another major American city, in Washington, D.C., with the militarization of their streets. And of course, since then, we've seen similar actions by this president and Kristi Noem in Homeland Security in other major American cities, not least of which just in the last few days in Chicago, Illinois, Portland, Oregon. And the anticipation is we're going to see additional actions by this president all across the United States of America. This is unprecedented in modern American history. This is, dare I say, a constitutional crisis.
I'm telling you, we have got to be paying attention to the facts, what's going on. And as I told y'all last week, I watch Jennifer Lewis a lot. And of course, you know, I've got to, I want to play her again if I can get it to play. Oh, I may have to find her on Amazon. On Instagram, because I thought she did it on her TikTok as well. But you know, Jennifer be all over. I'll post it on my wall later on is what I'll do. But y'all, we have done all of the topics I have brought for us to listen to. I thank you guys for coming into the live, for listening, for the talking back and forth. I am going to get to my bill collectors. I'm going to have to do 1 and 2 when I do it. But I am going to do it. There was something that was said this week that I want to address. A couple of things. This week I was over in Misdiagnosis's chat and was watching her talk about her daughter. And she was talking about how much she loved her daughter and so forth and so on. Someone had taken a video of her daughter crying when Misdiagnosis was entered into a facility and used it as though it was some type of pleasure. Then when you start using kids as pawns, you overstep your bounds. And I posted in the comments, Misdiagnosis, God got you. Somebody thought it was cute to come back, and I guess they follow me around YouTube. Good for you. Let me tell you something. We're all God's children. Whether you do right, whether you do wrong. We're all God's children. We are made in his image. We are all God's children. God has all of us. We used to sing a song where children says, he has the whole world in his hands. He has the whole wide world in his hands. He's got you and me, brother, in his hands. You and me, sister, in his hands. So what happened to humanity when you feel so boldly that you got your motherfucking ass up here and tried to say what I said was wrong? Don't put God in the middle of this. God is always in the middle of it, even in the middle of your mess. And guess what? What goes around has a way of circling around. Karma, don't ever forget an address. I've said it before. The Bible talks about the law of sowing and reaping. The Quran used the law of reciprocity. We call it karma. It don't ever forget an address. We'll go around, come around. Laughing at someone because of death in their family. Guess what? Death has a way of knocking on everybody's door. It ain't gonna miss my address and not hit your address. It's gonna hit my address. It's gonna hit your address. It's gonna hit the address around the corner. I'm gonna say whatever in the hell I want to say whenever I want to say it to whoever I want to say it to, because I'm grown. I'm a whole adult. And I say what I want to say. Misdiagnosis, God has you. He has you and Savannah in his hands, in the palm of his hands. I have listened to the way you quote the scriptures. I've listened to the way you are a smart woman. You are a smart woman. You are a smart woman. I really used to kind of watch you and just like, oh, okay. Everybody say you're cuckoo. Then I started listening to you. You're a smart woman. You know what you're talking about. You know what you're talking about. You know the Bible inside and out. And God is watching over you in Savannah. The gifts and the receiving that you've gotten from others in the last week. I've heard you talking about testifying about people giving to you. Guess what? That's God. And you've recognized that as being God, and you're being grateful. God has you in Savannah, and he has your daughter and your mom, and he has you all in the palm of his hand. And he's not going to let go of you. He's not going to let go of you. I don't care what comes to your door. There is a Bible scripture that talks about, and I wish I had time to look it up, but I don't. I have something else on my phone. There's a scripture that says that even the pestilence and the disease and the evilness will come to my door, and it would not overtake me because of the God that I serve, because of the God that I give honor to, because of the God that I glorify, because of the God that I respect, because of the God that I honor, the God that I fear, the God that I love. Keep loving God. Keep loving your baby. God got you. Regardless of what Savannah's going through, regardless of what she's going through, whatever that looks like, pray that God puts the right people in your path. I heard you talking about a doctor that you believe God put in the place to take care of you. Take care of Savannah. Follow that. Follow the Lord's leading and allow them to do what they need to do to help Savannah. And don't let her get too close to this internet, because this is a dog-eat-dog world. Like, people don't care nothing about you. They want to know your business so they can tell it to somebody else. And on Mad Day, they get out here and add something to it. That's how they do it. Another thing. Watch who you watching. Watch who you talking about. Who you telling stuff to. Watch that. Leave PBE alone. Stop using her name. Just talk about somebody else. All right? Every time you use that name, I cringe. Just stop. That's not important. You're bigger than that. You're better than that. You don't need to be using her name. I can't tell you what to do. I'm just giving you a little bit of advice. You have a lane. And guess what? Ain't no traffic over there. Stay in your own lane. Drive that car in your lane. You are doing great. If you need to rag and tag. But be careful. Be careful with these people, because they don't mean you any good. They're out to set you up. Anyone who would use a mental disability against you don't mean you no good. They don't. Where I work at, I see it daily. I see the mental disabilities, and I see the anger and the depression, and I've seen people take their lives because it's been so great. Don't allow anybody to push you to that point. I'm talking to you, Misdiagnosis. I don't have you blocked, so I don't know why you can't see what I'm putting in your chat. Maybe you have me blocked. I don't know. But I'm telling you right now, don't allow anybody. I took my nails off, but I got my nails painted. I have gel nails on. Don't allow anybody to push you to the point. Not on here. Not on this here. I'll tell you that. My sign has me to a point. I say what I'm going to say, and I'll move on, girl. I don't dwell on it. I don't talk about it no more. It is what it is. I'm going to get you together, and I'm going on about my life. You can stay here and stare at me and look at me and tell me stuff. Baby, I just renewed my passport. Just renewed my passport so I can keep living my life. That's what I'm doing. Living my life, enjoying my family, being with my children, my grandchildren, my siblings. When I tell you, being the youngest of a big family is one of the best things you can do. On this week, I was in a car wreck. Every one of my siblings called me within 10 minutes of the accident. Are you okay? I only called one person. That's how busy. Are you okay? I love you. I love you. My brother came to the scene and bear hugged me so tight, and I acted like a little baby and just bawled my eyes out. Him and my husband on one side, my brother on the other side. Baby, it feels so good when you love. It does. And when people are not loved, they act a darn fool. They can't stand it. When they see the God working in you, guess what the devil do? He get upset. It is the devil's job to steal, to kill, and to destroy. That's the word of God. The devil's job is to kill, to steal, and to destroy. But there is a word for you that says God took all of our infirmities when he went on the cross, right? The stripes that was laid upon his back, when they pierced him in the side, the crown of thorns on his head, all of that was done for us. All of that was done for us. And if you believe in God, nothing these Negroes say out here on this YouTube will hurt you, injure you, or anything of the sort. It just won't. And people will hate the God in you because they see the glow. what's on your life. It intimidates them. Same way with butterfly. It intimidates. That glow, something about that glow just intimidates you. But I saw something in the last couple of days, and I just thought I'd put some words on a piece of paper, and I want to talk about it. When people set out to destroy someone else's family, they rarely realize that they're planting the seed of their own downfall. Because families that are built on love, faith, and truth may bend under pressure, but they don't break easily. They don't break easily. Your words rarely break a family that is built on love and faith and truth. What's meant to last can't be undone by lies or manipulation. So while they scheme, life has a way of turning their energy right back around to them. The Bible tells me that he will prepare a table in the presence of my enemies. That lets me know that my enemies have to be there so that I can eat. I can't eat unless they're there, right? Unless they're in the room, I cannot eat the good of the land unless they're there, because that table is going to be set in front of them. And I'm going to tell you another thing about families. I don't care what you run back and tell, what you get on the microphone and scream. Guess what? You ain't going to break nobody's family up. She was talking about her daughter. She was talking about her daughter. You think that's going to stop her daughter from loving her, or her from loving her daughter? That ain't how it works. Me and my sister had a conversation last year. An issue happened. And I said, I'm going to call so-and-so's daddy, and I'm going to tell him exactly what she did. And she said, don't do that. Thank you, God, for giving me a sister that got some sound advice, who is one of the smartest, most intellectual women I have ever met, a master's degree in counseling, and you could call her day or night, and she's going to give you something to make you think. And she said, baby, don't do that. You think he's going to stop loving his daughter because of what you say? I thought about that. I mean, you sit down and like, oh, wait a minute. Let me think about that, because what she did was wrong. She talked about him, but guess what? When I saw him and his daughter, because I told him. I was hard-headed, and I told him anyway. But guess what? When I saw him and his daughter, they holding hands, hugging, kissing. That's his daughter. What did I expect? Did I think he was going to hate his daughter, which I never wanted, because these are my family members as well. I just want him to know what was up, right? It does absolutely nothing. Clear the air. That's all it does. Clear the air. You said it. I said it. Let's get it out. Let's move forward. And that's exactly the way it worked out. When I tell you God has a way of getting in the middle of something and fixing it, it caused us all three to sit down, talk about what had happened, the experiences we both had, and we ended up in tears, hugging, and we went on about our business. Ain't nobody falling out about no YouTube mess among their family. Ain't nobody doing that. They just ain't doing it. You ain't gonna make somebody brother hate them because of what somebody done said. Oh, she told me this. It's probably true. He probably did take the money. It's probably true. Who cares? So you say Marceau was in the back of the building playing with his shoes or playing with sticks? I don't know. Who cares? You think they're gonna stop loving their mama or whatever? That's not how that works. That's not how that works. When Mad Day come, you come out and spill everybody's beans. That's not how that works. That mess around comes back to you. It don't never work out like you think it's gonna work out. And anybody getting glory from it is destined to get the same thing. They're destined to get the same reaping and rewards that you're gonna get. Those same rewards. Oh, let's get together. Let's get a group, and we're gonna go against her. Yay! And then, oh my God, I don't know why this is happening to me. I don't know why that happened to me. Little when things happen, do we sit down and we say, oh, did that happen because I did this, or did that happen because I did that? I admonish all y'all, pick up a book called the Bible, the Holy Bible. You can pick up any version, New King James Version, King James, New International Version. There's several different versions of the Bible. Pick it up and read it if you think I'm lying. There is a law of sowing and reaping. We are living in the last days. The last days. The Son of Man is coming back. I don't care if you don't believe in God or not, the signs of the times are there. The signs, the Bible says you would know the seasons from each other. There's a rose plant outside that is budding. It's time for fall. It's time for winter. That rose plant should be dying and the leaves should be falling off. It should be bare, but it is budding. Seasons not known from each other. The Bible also told you there would be wars and rumors of wars. What are we hearing? War. This going on. This going on. This, war within our own country. But the Bible says when you hear these things, this is the beginning of trouble, the beginning of tribulations. The Bible also says that when he comes, there's going to be gnashing. When you go to hell, there's going to be gnashing and gashing of the teeth, because you won't even have peace in hell. You won't even have peace in hell. You better get this mess right on earth. Life is short. Life is short. And my mama used to say it's as many short graves as it is long graves. So it's as many young folks dead as it is, or dying or passing away, as it is old folks passing away. Get it together. Sometimes I'm embarrassed to say I'm a Black woman by our behaviors. We get out here and we persecute each other for no reason. No reason. I don't like you, I move on. If I listen to you, I listen to you. If I don't, I don't. But getting out here causing drama among your life is ridiculous. I'm moving on with my life because guess what? You ain't even worth it. My life is grand. I'm enjoying it. Why would I want to go over here and make yours miserable? You're going to do that by yourself. You don't need no help. You don't need anybody's help. Woo. Had to get that off my chest. Had to get that off my chest. I'm going to say what I want to say to whoever I want to say it to. Misdiagnosis, you are loved, baby. There is people that are going to give into your bosom that you will not even know. The Bible says, given it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over shall men give unto your bosom. That's the word of God. If you believe God, which I believe you do because I've heard you talking about it, there is more in store for your life. More in store for your life, more in store for Savannah's life. Keep doing what you're doing. If you get on here and you cook and you want to call somebody a piece of cornbread or a piece of cabbage, do it. That's your lane. Just be careful about the names that you call, because at the end of the day, they don't matter. Only you matter. Only your baby matters. That's it. That's it. That's it. If no one told you today they love you, I love you. It may not seem like it, but I love you. And there ain't a thing you can do about it. Let's see. I'm going to find us a song to go on out of here on, because I love Jesus. Yes, I do. And I might cuss a little, but I love the Lord. And I'll never take it back. God has been too good to me. Too good to me. Too good to me. I will never, ever forget him and what he.
God is, 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 God. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? God is my refuge and my strength, a very present help in the time of trouble. For I reckon that the suffering of this present time ain't wild to be compared to the glory that's about to be revealed in my life. Now unto him who's able to do exceeding and abundantly above all I can ask or think. Now unto him who's able to keep me from falling and present me faultless before his presence. May your struggles keep you near the cross, and may your troubles show you need God. May your bad days, may your bad days prove that God is good. May your battles end the way they should. May your whole life prove that God is good.